How little did I know about Pokemon before seeing Detective Pikachu? Literally so little that I didn't realize that Pikachu talking is supposed to be out of the ordinary. Really. I watched that whole trailer and didn't get the gag there that these were effectively mute characters. Look, they're late 90s characters. If they didn't carry FBI badges or wooden stakes, I wouldn't have a damn clue. This movie's great, though! So I knew nothing of Pokemon, not out of disdain or anything, it just kind of passed me by. It's one of those franchises though that seems to come with such deep lore at this stage, at least, looking in on it, that it's kind of impenetrable, so I was dreading walking into this. And yet I had a damn good time. It's stuffed to the gills with in-jokes and nods and references that had a buddy of mine falling out of his seat with laughter over and over. But for me, the dude who doesn't know Pokemon, I had a blast on the film's own terms, which is awesome. They kind of don't bother going too far into what a Pokemon is or does or where they come from. They're anime creatures who partner up with humans for, reasons and fight other Pokemon using their assorted grab bag of specific fighting abilities and powers and such. So Pikachu, aka the only Pokemon I could name before this movie, he's a detective in this world and turns up with amnesia and only a name in a hat to guide him. And that's the name of his suddenly missing detective partner, Harry. As luck would have it though, Harry's adult son, Justice Smith from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, he's not only looking for Harry himself, but he also has the seemingly unique ability to understand what Pikachu's actually saying to him. Cue Pokemon's riff on Roger Rabbit, Zootopia, Cool World, and the Happy Time murders, but better than at least half of those. It's a pretty bold and colourful tentpole flick in all the right ways. Firstly, they're not stopping to unload exposition on this stuff for you. You either go in with it or you don't. Frankly, Zootopia, which this really borrows heavily from, indulged more in the expository department, but this makes absolutely as much sense as regards building a believable and immersible world around the idea of Pokemon and humans coexisting. In fact, with the live-action fusion of anime and real-world cities like Tokyo, what you actually wind up with is something almost Blade Runner-like in its look and feel. But, with goddamn Pokemon running around. The actual plot itself is pretty lumpy, as a lot of detective movies can be sometimes, and well, the Happy Time murders definitely proved recently, but the whole function of that anyway is effectively just to offer Ryan Reynolds a chance to play full wild card next to Justin Smith's bemoaning sort of straight man figure, and it's a pairing that really works too. Ryan Reynolds can do this stuff in his sleep, and Smith's pretty goddamn good in a sort of meek Jay Baruchel kind of way. It looks good too, it's shot on film and it shows. It's got a wonderful hard-boiled quality in the visuals that you wouldn't think would play so well with the bright and colourful Pokemon pandemonium, but it absolutely does. Not that it's all about that pandemonium or anything, but Detective Pikachu is definitely more concerned with the character arcs going on at the centre of it all, and it works really well in utilising the sort of gorgeously realised world to that end. It's Rob Letterman's directorial follow-up to Goosebumps. Now, I love me some of the Goosebumps movie, but this is really a cut above on a lot of fronts. Just a shout out about the supporting cast too. Catherine Newton from Supernatural and Blockers. She turns up here as a sort of lovably meta Lois Lane reporter wannabe. Great fun. Chris Gere's daft but at least amusing. Ken Watanabe's an absolute legend as always, and Bill Nighy stands in for the sort of obligatory James Halliday role, and why not? He's perfectly good at it, no complaints there. It's actually Smith who takes the MVP trophy for this one though. Ryan Reynolds is great fun and all, but it wouldn't work half as well without the amount of genuine heart that Justice Smith puts on the backboard for him. And ultimately, Detective Pikachu works brilliantly both for fans and non-fans of the Pokeverse, or whatever it's called. Fans will love seeing all these creatures brought to life and inhabiting not just this splendidly realized world, and non-fans will be engaged by what's really just a fun, really neat little character-driven detective fantasy, with some big action beats. Hats off to Mark Sanger and James Thomas, the editors on this, by the way. There's some terrific movement to this and a lot of energy, particularly in the smaller comedic beats that just get sustained heavily through the way this is cut together. John Matheson did a fantastic job shooting this, but those two deserve real kudos for it. It might technically be the best video game movie ever made. I mean, I'll revisit this before I watch Rampage a 9th time at any rate, but it's mostly just a damn fun, flighty, hilarious movie that could so easily have just phoned it in on brand recognition alone, but took the time instead to, do something genuinely interesting and captivating. 4 stars from me. Just go see Detective Pikachu, man. It's so much fun. And also fun this week is Arctic, in which Mads Mikkelsen fights a polar bear. But Destination Wedding's been kicking around for so long now that it feels almost obligatory to have to give it a chance. So if you've not encountered this, or maybe you caught the trailer like 2 years ago and forgot about it like a normal person, this stars Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder as 2 mismatched, middle-aged singleton misanthropes who meet and subsequently can't stand each other, except they're both essentially the only single people going to Keanu Reeves' brother's wedding in California wine country, so they're kind of stuck with one another. Can you guess where this might go? No? Go back to your crowns. The obvious hook is the casting, which plays really heavily on the sort of BuzzFeed culture shipping of Keanu and Winona. It's nice to see reunited, sure, but good lord, not a great film to do it with. I mean, it's serviceable enough, it gets the job done, but clunky doesn't even begin to cut it. I mean, Reeves in particular trips up constantly with writing he just can't seem to find the naturalism in. Maybe because it's made up of stock Jason Bateman dialogue for about 90% of his screen time, and Winona's actually pretty shrill in it. Which is made funnier by Reeves now sporting his John Wick look for every damn movie, and so there are scenes where Winona Ryder's just like being a dick to him, and you can so perfectly visualize a different outcome for a way more sadistic movie. But that's neither here nor there. Destination Wedding is passable for getting to the end credits with as little trouble as possible, but the lack of ambition does come across as a bit of a lack of effort too. I mean, the casting's straight up Viper Room, the style's swinging for Woody Allen minutiae humor, and the concept's pretty damn Linklater. It just doesn't live up to any of those though on its own terms. It's far too outwardly misanthropic to allow the pair's charm to really shine, and well, the film's only so-so as a result. And Destination Wedding's getting 2 stars from me. To be honest, I'd seek out Mads and that polar bear. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, rate, and review.